Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down. Angela, hi.
Natalie, whoa, hey girl.
Ooh,
how you doing?
Hey. You're sounding a little like little Natalie B. Arthur today.
Yeah, I know. I had a little cold over the week. I thought it was just a little nothing, and then it just turned into
crud.
a big it's a crud. And I tested, and no positive tests, which is happy, but I definitely got the tail end of the crud stick. Sorry, that sounded really gross.
That's
the laryngitis.
More elegant way to say you're sick.
Yeah.
It's laryngitis.
It's just laryngitis.
Yeah, that's a little bit
Thanks.
cuter. Okay.
Yeah.
I love you so much. So, Angela, today we are
Yes.
joined with a very dear friend of mine,
Yes.
and I would say a savant on the topic of what we are discussing today, which is wildly entertaining and really, really different and cool. This is Janet Young.
Janet.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh,
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to talk to you guys for real instead of just responding to you in my car on the way to work. I talk to you guys constantly, and I'm so excited.
She texts me and says, she's like, I
all the
talk out
time.
loud, listening to the podcast. She's talking out loud and responding. I was like,
I respond to you and then answer your questions sometimes. Yes.
Oh my God,
yeah.
I love that.
So when we were talking about the podcast, so I remember when like we'd seen each other, and I told you, Janet, I was like, I have a podcast. You're like, what? She had no idea. This was like about 6 months ago.
I was super mad. I was super mad at first.
I know.
And then I backed up and I remembered a couple things. I'm terrible at promoting myself too. Like our first trivia night, I told nobody, not a single friend, not even nobody.
She hosts trivia night.
Yeah. And so then I was also like, Janet, why are you mad? You have like so many episodes you can just binge, which is my favorite way to do anything, is all at once.
You're welcome.
Yeah. It's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Well, I told her, I was like, it's me and my best friend, Angela. Like we have this thing and, you know, it's pop culture. And she's like, Janet's very hip to the pop culture. And we've always talked about movies and stuff, our whole friendship. And
that's true.
She actually made me one of the most incredible gifts I've ever received in my life. And it is actually, I'm moving into a new home soon.
Yes.
And
it's going with you? Awesome.
In our game room. Oh yeah.
That's great.
It's she did the entire map of Home Alone, like the blueprint that Kevin McAllister made of all the booby traps that
his battle plan
going to make.
Yeah, I drew
his battle
that.
plan. She recreated the whole thing, and it's framed.
Had it framed.
It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And
oh my God, I love that.
It's magic.
That is adorbs. What a great gift. Oh my gosh.
It's incredible.
Especially for Natalie.
Janet is an artist. She's a speech therapist. And she is a super fan of Put Your Books Down. Don't tempt me with putting a friend, not only a friend and a super fan all in one.
Yeah.
Who was chomping at the bit to get on here.
Yes.
Which is like, please feed my ego
anymore.
For
real.
I've been telling everyone about this podcast. Everyone.
Wow.
So.
Well,
that's
we
great.
are so grateful, and we have the most fun doing it. And we're just so glad that you're here. And
me too.
Today, we're going to talk about. So we're getting into the spooky season, right?
Yes.
Like when this airs, it's going to be close to Halloween.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
I can do today.
It is.
I know.
It was beautiful.
Janet is a savant on scary movies. She has also I don't know if this was a conversation. I told her I wanted her to be on our podcast, like at some point, like October. I mean, cause she's really good at this scary stuff. And I think you brought up the psychology of horror movies, why people watch horror movies, why some people don't watch horror movies, what people get out of it, what you know, it's all of this like psychological information of horror movies. I love scary movies. Angela thought she was like a super freak, afraid of all of it. Has recently over the podcast realized that she's actually a lot tougher than she thought. And Janet has a buttload of info. Okay.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a buttload.
She's got a buttload of
technical
stuff
term
that we're going to talk about. It's going to be like this is going to be like a table talk.
Out the wazoo.
Out the wazoo.
Fun fact, I learned from this podcast what that means.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. That was on our buns episode.
It was.
On the buns. It was buns. And well, Janet, what we like to do is to also teach people. We're also teachers.
This is a teaching situation.
That's what I do all day long.
I mean, say mentor if you want. That's, you know, in here.
Life coach.
You do you. Life coach.
Okay.
You know,
right.
Well, where do we want to start?
Okay, so Janet, I think we need to let you kick it off on what, like, where you want to start. Like, what's up with the psychological situation with horror movies? Like, tell me about that.
And tell us about what brought you into liking this genre and why you're fascinated with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was a small child, my mother never censored a single thing that I watched. It's funny too, because when I was kind of preparing for this, Natalie and I were talking about another movie initially, and then I messaged my mom and I said, hey, when I was a little kid, you know, what were the movies besides these few movies that we already know of that shaped me, that I really, really loved and, you know, wanted to watch. And I was surprised because she told me, and I don't remember this, but she told me when I was 4, I had to have been 4 because this movie came out in 1988, that I pitched a fit and wanted to go watch Pumpkinhead in the theaters. And she let me go. I saw Pumpkinhead.
That caught me off guard.
Exactly. I saw Pumpkinhead in the theaters at 4 years old. Okay.
Oh my God.
I rewatched it recently. Oh man. I guarantee you I went home on her lap from the hospital. We had to. I mean, yeah. I rode in the back of our station wagon and just played back there when we drove around. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Facing backwards.
Yes.
Yeah. We did that too.
As you
the
did.
Oldsmobile. Yeah. So anyway, she never censored a thing that I watched. And funny enough, I did have really bad dreams. I remember having reoccurring terrible dreams about Jason. I mean, I had seen, obviously, Pumpkinhead, Jason, Nightmare on Elm Street. Do you guys remember Puppet Master?
Yes.
Okay. That was Stephen King, wasn't it?
So Puppet Master. What else?
The People Under the Stairs. Didn't
the
you and I
people
talk about
under?
that?
We did talk about that.
I'm still not. Well, we'll get back.
Yeah,
that's one of my. Triggers.
Yeah, we can come back to that for sure.
Okay.
So I kind of grew up with this, but I was talking to Darren before you ladies popped on, and one of the things that I was focusing on is, why do I love horror? Why do people love horror? But what's more fascinating, in a sense, is why people don't love horror. And
agreed.
Yes. And everyone that I asked when I was talking about, hey, I'm doing this podcast, I'm doing this research, and I asked them, you know, do you like horror? And everyone that said, no, I don't love horror, I don't like to be scared, my follow-up question was, well, did you experience any type of childhood trauma? And they all said no. Great for them. Love that for them.
Like, who didn't?
Congrats.
Right. Okay. Okay. Who didn't experience? Maybe at the time they didn't know it was trauma.
They don't know. They don't remember.
Sure.
You don't know.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe. Cool. So I think for a lot of people who may have experienced prolonged trauma like that, do like to feel scared because your body's kind of mirroring that response that you had to those really traumatic situations that you thought as a child were normal. And so, right. And so it makes you feel kind of like a little hug from home almost. Cause for example, if I talk about a situation that I had that happened to me when I was younger, somebody else might be like, wow, that sounded terrible. But to you, it's like, oh, that's normal. That was a normal thing. So we're kind of getting off topic a little bit, but
that's okay. That's what we do.
I just feel, I feel like it's relevant in this situation because it's all about how your brain chemistry reacts and the way that your neurons are wired when you're little. And it makes a difference. It makes a difference. It makes a difference in how you perceive your world, how you respond to stimuli. And so some people that may have experienced a trauma such as war, they're not going to want to watch a war. They're not going to watch Black Hawk Down. They're not going to watch Jacob's Ladder.
Or
they're
Born
not
on the 4th of July.
Yeah, they're not going to watch a movie like that. It's going to trigger them. Does that make sense? And but I do feel like everyone has a sweet spot of fear. They have right. And so right. And so why I love horror, I think it goes back to that childhood trauma. It does it releases dopamine and it releases all of these it's firing all these neurons off in your brain. Your amygdala is, talking to your limbic system. Your limbic system is like reward and pleasure. And also then you get that come down from like being scared and you're like, so it's those things that kind of mirror that. And it makes you feel excited. It makes you feel good. And like I said, everyone has that sweet spot,
Natalie's over here like agreeing wholeheartedly because she's like, oh yeah, she's like, I love that. I'm like, I need that adrenaline.
Oh, yeah. No, I feel like actually, like Janet, like this is like seriously enlightening, and I feel like thinking about, I'm honestly now a bit concerned that I was just like a little creep growing up because
you were, and I love it.
I was. Yes, I mean I had to have been.
You're concerned
I love
now?
Scary movies my whole. Well, I'm like a modified fancy creep now. I'm
all this
older.
All this self-reflection you can.
But I think that like I don't know. I've always loved scary movies, and I haven't had significant trauma. I wouldn't say, but I mean everybody has their stuff. But I think that I always it was the adrenaline. It was like stimulating. When I remember like one of the first human movie, like adult movies I saw, I was 9. I told you this, and Angela knows this, was Misery. And I remember seeing the clubbing of the ankles, and like I have like flashes of the clubbing of the, what is it called? Hobbling? Is that what you told me?
Yeah, he like hobbled. She hobbled him.
Hobbling.
Yeah,
and that will like pop up in my head, but like I slept, and okay, so I don't know where this lanes. I don't know. I'm not really good.
Lanes, loons.
Lanes, loose.
I don't know.
But I slept like a baby after I watched Misery, and I was not a big sleeper when I was like 9. My adrenaline was so up, and then like by the end of it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, you're
exactly.
Like, wow.
And at least that worked out. I mean, he's never going to be the same, but he made it. Right. His life is ruined mentally, but he did it. He's okay.
And see, some of us
that's
just
how I am now.
Some of us just inherently want to feel that on the edge of your seat, and then you get the, But only when there's what you would consider a happy ending to a horror movie, though.
Right.
So if as long as there's like a closure, meaning that they're like the bad guy, the monster, the demon is exorcised, killed, something is, and it's like, okay, so that's gone. That part's gone. When it's not, I am not relieved. I am anxious. I don't sleep very well. Like,
okay.
And then I also know why I still enjoy that. And I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it right now because I have figured this out while I was talking to Janet, few weeks ago. It's because of Unsolved Mysteries, starring Robert Stack.
Oh,
Wait, so what is it about?
I am in
What
love.
is it
It's
about
the
Unsolved Mysteries?
Like not know, like
Yes.
it's not having like when the bad guy wins, or like like in the movie The Strangers.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
When and also I'm more terrified. I get really scared about things that could actually happen. Okay.
Right.
So, but then I get scared with demons. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm scared of the devil. And I know that a lot of people don't believe in the devil, but I'm scared of the devil.
I'm scared of the devil.
Okay.
Lord, it's the devil.
So
Yeah.
anyway, but
The
I
devil's
think
got
that
me shook.
It got me shook,
y'all.
But I think that when when there's not like a resolution, like I can't watch, like I watch all the murder shows. Y'all both know this. I watch all murder shows, except I will not watch like some there's like a show called Disappeared, and you still don't know where the people are. Like there's no resolution because I can't. Like,
you don't like that.
It's the most unsettling to me when it's not.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So I'd rather the bad guy win, other than not knowing like what happens.
Yes.
So we talked about this last time, and we talked about how you also get really scared at things that could really happen. And I was like, well, I mean, it's less likely that a stranger's going to bust into your home. You're more than likely to be murdered by someone that you know, because we watch these true crime shows. We know that statistic.
Totally.
However,
that is helpful.
Yes. However, when I may have had too much wine because I was trying to
there's no such thing.
Calm myself down.
I mean, there is, but not right now.
Not right now. So I keep losing my train of thought. So
choo. That's okay. That's what we do here. We just
and Angela's drinking Fireball.
Awesome.
I'm drinking Fireball,
so I think we're all in really good company.
And
I may have pre-gamed it a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yes. So wait. So back up.
Don't worry about that.
So you were saying what? And then
I was saying
what?
that.
So then she said, and then I'm
going to pivot, Janet.
And then we're going to pivot,
Janet,
and it's going to come back to you, Janet.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Now
what
we're
going
to
do
in this. Okay,
no.
Our
brains.
I have attention span of a fly.
Well, maybe we can come back together, and then you can like splice it together.
Yes,
we'll figure it out.
No, it's all good.
In the meantime, Angela.
Yes, I'm gonna have the floor for a moment.
No, you're not.
You're fine. Girlfriend,
Janet, you're not moving. Look,
don't even sweat it, honey.
I thought you were telling her
you're
not.
No,
you're
Angela.
Good, no.
Angela, Janet, we're all good. We're all good.
Everybody's
good.
Safe.
But Angela,
fine.
I have a question.
Yes.
Soothing tones.
You're very welcome.
What scares you now?
Okay.
Now that you've had this like rebirth while we've been doing our podcast.
Yes, I have had a rebirth.
Like, you thought you were scared of poltergeist. Well, you're like, that's stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Caroline! And then you're like, what does scare you? Follow the light, Caroline.
Well, I will tell you this. I mean, I guess what I'm
and
viewing.
Do you like watching scary movies now?
Sorry. Well, okay. I actually watched a scary movie today in preparation for this podcast because I wanted to see like blah blah blah, like what would happen. I watched Get Out, which is so good. It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
And I feel like. Oh my God, you just totally sounded like the guy in Best in Show. He's like, Corky. Anyway, you're like,
waiting for Guffman.
I mean, waiting for Guffman. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Fireball. That's the Fireball talking. Yeah. And what I've discovered about myself is that I'm able now, more than I was before, to sort of watch it like a fly on the wall, like from the behind the scenes, like as the director, perhaps, or like Natalie's rolling her eyes.
At least your answer isn't obnoxious.
I'm like, I know. At least you're not being haughty in your response.
You're a director now? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. So, no, what it really is that I'm able to somehow separate myself like this is a movie.
Okay.
And I can go, this is a movie and this is a made up story and this is like, these are actors and this is not real. Okay. Now,
I can do that with most movies too. Yeah.
I was not able to do that when I was younger at all. I was not even remotely able to do that because it's interesting that you said what you said, Janet, because I was not exposed to anything dark. I did not watch all the movies. Like I watched some, but they traumatized me. So I didn't watch scary stuff when I was little. So I wanted my world, like as far as I was concerned, I had rose-colored glasses on my whole childhood. Like I wanted everything to be nice all the time. I was into musicals. I was into like, happy things.
I love Pollyanna over here.
Yeah, it's like Pollyanna up in here. I was
Way
in,
cuter, though, you are.
like I was like a rom-com chick,
Yeah.
I was into Annie and stuff.
You're doing through life.
I was do. Yeah. So I mean, so I didn't
great.
get that. I didn't get that that cathartic feeling that people say they talk about when they talk about horror, which I understand it. I completely get it. Like your adrenaline raises, you are going through it with the people in the thing, and you're invested in that way. And then like the resolution, it's like, yes, it's like this catharsis. And so, we have catharsis in a lot of different movies, like everything with like a hero's journey, a thriller, like I like all those kinds of things, but horror just didn't really do it for me. I don't know why. I was too scared. I was way too scared. I don't like being that scared and that tense all the time. It's just too much. I couldn't separate myself.
That makes
but now I can.
sense. Yeah. But exactly. And now you can separate it. And that is, I think that's what people are. Another reason is you're fear adjacent when you're watching a horror movie.
Right.
So you can have those feelings of being scared with, and your brain doesn't know the difference, but know you're not really in danger, but your brain initially is going to react like, oh, and you startle and you're scared. And another horror though, just like you mentioned, Get Out. Another point, that one thing that I love about horror is that it is an avenue in which we can really explore the zeitgeist of our culture and make poignant statements about racist behavior, which is how Get Out does. And it does it in a way that it's not gory, and it still comes off as terrifying, because guess what? It is. Racism is very terrifying. And if you're especially
from the point of view of the Black person in the movie, like their point of view.
Yes. And I loved the way he was able to show us how horrible it is without showing us the goriness of it,
Right. Yeah.
And I just, because a lot of people don't respond to that. Like you said, some people want to feel positive, and they want to have all, they just don't like the adrenaline rush. But but horror can be inherently meaningful.
Absolutely.
Like, for example, your dad chasing you around the room, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so scared. You're a toddler, your dad's coming to get you. The lights go out at school. You're in the second grade. Woo, it's scary,
Exciting, scary.
Yeah, it's exciting. and it can be a positive thing. It can be, and it can be inherently meaningful, and it's a bonding, a social experience,
Absolutely. That's like my thing. I tell my friends, I'm like, I want to go get scared. Like I say, I want to go get scared. Let's go watch this scary movie.
That's why I love the fair.
Get scared.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you guys.
I love roller coasters.
I was going to ask you. I was literally just going to ask you, like, do you like roller coasters? Because I love roller coasters.
Rope courses. I love
and
all
like
of that
when
stuff.
I'm on a roller coaster, I'm like howling with laughter the entire time, screaming and laughing.
Yeah.
Like I always have been this way. I was always into roller coasters, but I was never into horror. But I definitely like that feeling of being scared, but
in
just not with horror. I don't like it psychological.
You like it triggered by an experience like that's
physical,
actually positive, like
a
fun.
Physical.
Like roller coasters are happy.
Yeah,
people love roller coasters. So that's
until people die
on
the roller coaster.
Versus
Well, that's the fear factor of it. Like, I mean, every time I'm on a fair ride, all I can think of is a bolt could come loose and I could go flying.
Oh, and Final Destination. I think of Final Destination.
It's
absolutely
so exciting. Yes.
I'm sorry. And look at these yahoos that are running these machines.
Oh,
sorry. These yahoos that are running machines.
Excuse me, but
has
you know
one
what they
eyeball
do?
shut.
Okay, but they take those machines down and put them up so they know what they're doing. That's what I tell myself.
I understand they're pros. No, Janet, they're pros. They're pros.
Sure.
No doubt. However, their behavior and disinterest is alarming at times.
Yes,
and that actually increases my adrenaline, because I'm like, oh my God, these are the people running this, and I could totally die right now.
Right.
And I chose to do this. Look at me. I'm fucking stupid. So, I don't know.
Darren.
So,
wasn't even listening for that last one.
It's okay. It's fine. So let me, before we do a pit stop.
Yes.
Let's go around and we're going to end with Janet's telling hers. So Angela.
Yes.
Now that we have all because Janet has brought this to our attention, the psychology of horror movies.
Yes.
What is your biggest takeaway for you personally?
Yeah.
Now that we have this like new information.
Yeah. I
about
think
ourselves.
the biggest takeaway for me in the last couple years doing this podcast, also just thinking about horror, is that horror, it's what Janet just said. It's the fact that horror is a vehicle for us to tell stories that are absolutely horrifying. There's a reason why like Dracula and Frankenstein and all those things came out in the 30s, the late 30s, after the First World War. There's a reason why like scary movies come out after, why like Texas Chainsaw Massacre after Vietnam. Like these are all Invasion of the Body Snatchers in the 50s. Like these are all things that are vehicles, and I now can look at them from the director's point of view and get the like metaphor. That's what's changed for me.
Because of Get Out really helped.
Because of Get Out really helped me too. Yeah, but even if somebody had just told me that a long time ago, I think I would have probably clued in. But I'm pretty thick-headed, so it took me a while to figure that out.
You just had made a decision. You just made a decision that you didn't like them.
That's what's great about horror. I also think there's so many different subgenres.
Reasons.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Subgenres within horror.
Exactly.
For sure.
So if you're not a slasher person, then you might be a psychological
slasher
thriller,
movies
like
make me laugh. Yeah.
Slasher movies are silly.
They can be hilarious.
But they can be hilarious, and like I love campy. But for me, like I love horror movies until I don't. So there are some like I watched the first 2 Saw movies, and then it becomes gratuitous, and there's no art. There's no art.
Exactly.
There's no art to this. There's no deep dive. Okay, like you're literally what you see is what you get, and I'm not pleased with what I'm seeing. Okay,
exactly.
Right.
It's just like I don't like when people are trying to make me want to throw up.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I mean, make me throw up with emotions. Make me want to throw up like with the weight of the topic or what's going on right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not not for nothing. I don't want to feel like this because you're disgusting.
Yeah.
Like because you're nasty.
Yeah.
Like, you can do there is actually an art form to horror movies, and there's a good way and a bad way to do it. And I appreciate silly, all that kind, but when I feel like it's just to a horror movie just to see how messed up and disturbing. Even actually, I respect even a little disturbing. I think though when it's just trying to be like gross and nasty and to like mess you up, really, like I don't respect that as much. And I've seen a lot of it, but I've gotten to the age now where I know I can tell by like the cover of it yes, Janet, it lacks substance, and I avoid that because I'm like I'm not doing that. Like
I'm
we
not
live in
watching
a crazy world. We don't need. I don't need extra.
Exactly.
For nothing. Give me something from it,
right?
And then I will be pleased.
Let me ask you this,
now,
Natalie.
Janet.
Before you go, Natalie, let me ask you this: did you say that you saw the Nun movies?
Of course.
And did it scare you?
No, actually, it was. You know why it didn't, and you know why it was wildly validating is because I didn't have a great time with nuns growing up. And I was like, told you. Anyone that was around me watching, I was like, I told you.
Right.
They suck.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The nuns suck.
Because I went to go see The Nun 2 or whatever that was in the theater just recently because it was out. And I like giggled through the whole thing. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. Okay.
And there's several that like are silly, but I'm still entertained.
Yeah.
Like, even if I think it's not scary.
Right.
But I'm entertained. Like, I watched the new Exorcism movie with Russell Crowe. It's like the Exorcism of the Pope or something.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't scared the whole time, but by damn if I wasn't entertained. Okay. I was.
Yes.
It's new on Netflix. And by damn, I watched the whole thing.
Sure. Well,
okay?
Did you watch Becky? I told you to watch Becky. Did you watch it?
No, I haven't done that yet. Did you watch Paperboy?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I got to get Angela to watch that. That might actually scare her.
Actually,
I want to be
It's a
scared.
Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
It's an 80s Lifetime movie, and it didn't get more messed up than that. So go ahead, Janet.
I love another thing I love about horror is the final girl, because I also see myself as a final girl. Like, I'm gonna fight until the very end.
Me too.
And Becky is one of those, and it's one of those. She's a teenager too, so it's like it throws you back into that. teenage angst and you're so mad and it's amazing and it's gory.
And you survived.
Save your life and others.
Survived. Yeah. And
I'm never going to be the same or
Blart
okay again, but I did it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm fucked up forever, but it's okay.
A strong female lead. But a strong female lead, you know, that's what we do though. That's the point of a strong female lead who's the final girl, is because that's what we do in our normal existence.
Yes.
We survive.
Amen.
And we are good at it. Anyway.
Yes,
Amen.
sis. Absolutely.
Gloria Gaynor said
what
it.
Was the last
Woo! I will survive.
question?
The last thing for you is to say what
scares
your
me?
biggest takeaway from your own things that you actually shared with us.
Oh,
your
my
biggest takeaway about the psychology of horror movies.
Yeah.
Pertaining to you.
Takeaway? I don't know. Well,
I think you said it. The final girl, like
the final girl. You're right.
The last girl standing. Yeah,
that's my takeaway from what. Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Is that your biggest takeaway?
That's metaphorical for you with everything you've said, like trauma, and you're the one that like wins in the end. No, I mean, I'm just
still her alive. This is really cool. Yes.
Right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, this is some deep shit, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I practiced my voice, but I went and I just got so relaxed and went into my regular voice with you guys. Did I sound really Southern? Voices. No, I want to be. No, I want. No. Sometimes you're like, "Hello, Angela." You know, it's
we
your
do
podcast
voices,
voice.
yes.
You do voice, but you do. I don't know. I was practicing my podcast voice for the whole, and then
is that your podcast
to be
voice?
On USA's Silk Stockings
up all
what?
Night with Rhonda Shear.
Yeah, up all night. That's right.
All night.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, it was so
well,
good.
Speaking of being up all night, we have a pit stop.
Woo!
And I
Are we going to talk about
that's not very good.
And this is no. Here's what we're going to talk about. And that's like, if you want to talk about 7, you can. The question today is, Janet, how do you feel about Brad Pitt?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let me tell you about Brad Pitt. I think Brad Pitt is not only just a beautiful man, but I think that he's a fantastic actor. And let me tell you, my favorite role is, now I'm going to blank on the character's name, but he is it Darren? He's the guy on the couch on True Romance. And
Floyd.
Yes, damn it, Floyd. Use all the toilet paper. Yes, it's Floyd. And Floyd.
Everybody loves Floyd.
My favorite.
We did an episode on True Romance, and we love. Yes.
Did you really? I haven't listened to that one yet. That is one of my favorite movies of all. Every time I listen to an episode, I'm like, I have so much to say. I have so much to say. When you were like when you did Waiting for Guffman, because I just let it kind of skip around for me. And so I don't know if I've listened to all of your episodes, but when you did Waiting for Guffman, and you were like, if you haven't seen Waiting for Guffman, can't be a sign. And I was like, everybody should just go bite their pillows.
That again. Because you're bastard people.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't like Waiting for Guffman.
Listen,
but
it's okay.
Floyd in True Romance with his hair, that was his hair, that was like his vibe. And it was just like almost like cameo, almost a cameo.
It's so good.
But
and he's like,
can't argue.
You want to smoke a bowl? He says this to James Gandolfini. He's like, you want to smoke a bowl? And he's like, no. And he's like, don't you condescend me, man. I'll fucking kill you. And that's his whole role.
I love it.
It's amazing.
I know.
That is to me my favorite. I love when I see actors play ridiculous roles like that, because I know that they read that script and went, fuck yes. And that's
exactly.
Janet, he said he was playing himself. That's one of the movies he played himself the most in at that time of his life.
Okay, well, I'm not as
he was a huge stoner, and that was like really.
If we were talking about Christopher Walken, that'd be a different story. But yes,
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I love him so much. It's a weird. It gets weird.
It's okay.
Your love for him gets weird.
Walken. Oh my gosh, I have two Christopher
Walken.
It's weird. Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I just.
Well, Angela gets really weird about Paul Sorvino, so you're in good company.
Yeah, you're in good. I mean, if you don't know by now.
I love it.
If you don't know me by now, I have extra.
You never, ever know me. Oh, man.
Oh, I'm so glad. Janet, we didn't know you were going to sing for us.
So good.
You know what?
Love it.
I didn't either. Wolf Wine Cup.
I love it.
Win. Oh, I
Cheers.
just so Southern. Edit that out.
That's all right. No,
we're not, honey.
No,
it's staying in.
Staying in, babe. What were you going to say, Nat? Were you going to say something
Angela,
else to me?
Yeah. Angela, wrap us out of here.
Okay. It's been so great talking to you gals. I wanted to talk about horror all night. What?
Oh, I love it.
Sorry,
Wait,
that was
ready?
bad. That was so cool. Oh, she's going to beatbox for me.
Yeah. Oh, I learned
how about
Taskmaster that you just say boots and cats, and that's how you.
Yeah, boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots. Yeah, that's what you do.
Love British
so hip.
All right, everybody, just so as you know, I mean, put your books down. Just took a turn. Janet, thank you so much. We're good.
Another horror movie that I didn't hate, but just saying.
The second one was better.
Anyway. Okay, go ahead. Way better. I agree.
We love you. Thank you for hanging out with us for a little while for our little pop culture meditation on horror movies.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being a super fan. We just love that about you, and I hope that someday I get to see you IRL, as the kids say.
Yes, let's.
I will.
I'm sure I will. And Natalie, to you, I would like to say. First of all, you're just absolutely beautiful. I mean, just in general. I don't know if I've told you that today or not. Janet, you too. Just a knockout. Just that hair is fabulous.
I know.
Oh my God.
I mean,
just a
bunch of good-looking ladies. My God.
Can you believe I cut it myself?
It's fantastic.
Me either.
Nat, to you, I just want to say, namaste. Under the covers, looking at pictures of Paul Sorvino. All right.
Oh. I hope you feel better.
Let it go. Thank you.
I hope you feel better too.
And to you, Janet. Oh no, Natalie, you take it away.
No,
from here.
you gotta do Janet's namaste, and I'll do y'all's, and then Janet can do hers.
To you, Janet, I'm gonna say namaste in the trauma that gives me the goods for my amygdala.
Ooh,
sweet.
Yeah.
Namaste. Thank you to anyone listening to us, and please watch us on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
And thank you for all of our reviews, and we love you so much. And wildly grateful and glutton for anyone that listens to this. We just love you very much.
Yes.
And I will say to you, Janet, namaste. Lovely.
Oh.
Gorgeous.
Nice.
Sweet. Weird. And informative.
Nice. Namaste. Invite me back.
Oh, sexy.
We're going to edit that. That was really good.
You want to do another one?
We're going to edit that.
Nope, nothing's getting edited.
It was gold.
Namaste, not editing you.
Yeah.
Namaste.
How about that? Yes.
Namaste.
Yeah.
Namaste. Please drink more Fireball and text me.
I will.
Namaste.
Right, sounds good.
Spooky. I don't know. Okay.
Namaste spooky
namaste
for Halloween.
Yeah.
Namaste. Oh,
all
also
right,
everybody.
Oh, I don't mean to say that like in a bad way.
Did you say hookers?
But I didn't mean it in a bad way.
Said,
like,
okay, hookers.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah.
You calling me a hooker? Okay.
Yeah. I was celebrating.
Let me tell you, if I had gotten paid
I'm a
for
cat
every
mom.
time I gave this body away to some douchebag that didn't deserve it, I'd be a fucking millionaire. So yes, to hookers, because
and
you're
on
better
that
than
note,
I am. Bye.
Thanks for tuning
Hey,
in.
cheers, ladies.
Cheers, everybody.
I love you.
Bye.
And good night.
And good night. Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.